Hi folks, I'm going to do a Man United video again, but this one is because I've just started looking into things because the Ruben Amorim press conference was when I first heard it I didn't understand it, and then when I first started thinking about it I thought, oh yeah, it makes complete sense. What I've discovered since then, just through looking into it and trying to understand why he is as upset as he is, well, because again, I don't just want to go by what he says, I want to go by why he said it. Yeah, apparently Wilcox has been going to Ruben saying he needs to be more flexible with his formation because one of the Fulham players, and I think the manager or someone in the management of Fulham, said that Ruben's formation or system is so easy to play against. Which, again, that should have been challenged. Because, of course, the formation itself can't be easy to play against. It's the players within that formation that are easy to play against. It's the fact that players aren't actually trained or ready-made for that formation, which, is a huge problem. And again, what they did, instead of actually saying, well, okay, we failed the manager, we didn't bring him the players that he needed, they said, well, we need to get the manager to change his formation, then, don't we? Change the way he plays. But that's going to pee off any manager, right? If they haven't backed you, which they haven't, I'll go into that in a second. But what I also discovered, which just the reserves and the youth teams have not been trained to play the way that Amorim wants the first team to play. So you think about it in that way. You go to a big club like Man United as the new boss, right? You're supposed to be in charge of football. That's your understanding. You come there to be in charge of football and to bring this new way of playing to this club, right? Yep. Yeah. And all levels below, they're not even teaching them to play the way that this manager wants to play. And then the press are saying to him he needs to bring the youth through. How? How can he bring the youth through to his system when they're not being trained in his system? It's so incredibly disrespectful to the manager. There is absolutely zero long-term thinking in that. I was astonished when I saw that, because that showed me how incredibly badly run this club is. Still with Ineos. And what an absolutely woeful, awful job they're doing. Yes, I knew that in the summer they did a terrible job. A lot of people thought they actually did a good job. Because, did they spend a lot of money? Yeah. But on players that shouldn't have cost anywhere near what they spent. Sesko cost 70 million. I could put a 12-year-old in position at centre forward who would score most of the goals that Sesko can't. Yeah. He's nowhere near. If Sesko had cost 30 million, you'd still be questioning whether he was, good value. You'd say he isn't. But they spent 70 million on him. That's insane. And of the 6 players they bought in, probably for Amorim, maybe, because I think actually Heaven, I think, was bought in just before Amorim got there, so you can't really count him. But if you're counting him, you can say, okay, 6. 6 players have been brought in that sort of last bit of time. 4 of them are purely potential. Potential. So not only have the club basically said to the manager, F you, because you can train the first team that way, but we're not going to train the rest of the players at the club, the younger players, in that way. So we're going to say to the younger players, this man is wrong. We don't believe in the way that he's choosing to play. We're also going to bring into a team that was, reckoned by most as the worst Man United squad in over 30 years. We're going to bring in 2 ready-made players and 4 potential players into that. Good luck. Well, for goodness sake, what is a manager supposed to do with that? You give him the squad and leave him with the squad, basically, that got Erik ten Hag sacked. That if Erik ten Hag had not actually won the FA Cup, he would have been sacked in May. Right? Not in, I think, late October. He was given an extra couple of months because he won the FA Cup. But the same squad that Amorim inherited was so bad that they were even thinking of sacking Erik ten Hag after winning the FA Cup. Because they were so flipping bad. And in Amorim's first season, they are again absolutely woeful. Putting in performances that you'd have to question, with most of them, how they were ever classified as professional players. And yet, in this season, he's given pretty much the same squad again. But this season, he's given, 4 new players, and 2 of them are purely potential in very key positions. Number 9 and number 1. So goalkeeper and centre forward. The centre forward is the one that's supposed to get you goals. The goalkeeper is the one who's supposed to stop the other team getting goals. Both potential. Jeez. Talk about an incredibly badly run club. You only bring in potential when you've got a squad of players that are ready-made, that are there. That you can bring these potential players into a squad that can help them, maybe carry them in games when they're struggling. Right now, you bring these potential young, very... Well, Sesko's not that young, but Lamans is for a goalkeeper. Rather than going to get Martinez, rather than going to get... what's his name there? The Villa frontman, Watkins. You could have got 2 players from Villa. Villa would have done quite well out of it because they would have got a load of money coming in. But United would have got far, 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 far better players at a far lower cost. But somehow, the idiots that are running the club right now, football-wise, they're doing everything they can to undermine this manager. To make sure he is not successful. And now, after his press conference, I think they're going to have to sack him. I just hope, really hope, that when he goes without a gag order. That he can actually sit down and do an interview and speak about what is really going on at this club. I don't think it'll be long before the fans are completely against Ineos. I think Ineos have basically shot themselves in the foot here. They had the chance to do something. And, to say they've been massively incompetent. I mean, we all know about the Ashworth situation, where they waited so long to bring in the football director, and then within a few months sack him. And then bring in Jason Wilcox as his replacement. I don't know how long Jason Wilcox has been a director of football. I don't think it's very long. I don't think it's very long at all. And with Sir Jim saying he's going to bring in the best of the best, when? When is he planning to start doing that? Because he hasn't done it yet. Yes, he brought in Barada, who was City, but I think City were quite happy to get rid of him. I think he was probably coming towards the end of his contract. And City didn't want to renew, so in a nice thought, well, that'll do. City are doing well, so maybe we can say that he helped them in getting him. Maybe he can help us. Hardly